This is a 2017 on a 67 registration AMG GTC Roadster. And we wanted to start the video there because how cool is that? I've just put the roof down with a button on the key. So a really cool feature. You can do that before you even get anywhere near the car whilst you're walking up to it, and the roof's down on a nice hot day before you get in. So cool feature we thought we'd like to show you at the beginning. This is a super special car, one owner from new, 8,000 miles, and the AMG GTC is a super special model on its own. So it sits near the higher end of the AMG GT market, the AMG GT range. So it is more powerful than the AMG GT and the AMG GTS, and it shares some of the parts from its slightly bigger brother, which is the AMG GTR, which is the more track-focused version of this car with the wing on the back and so on and so forth. It borrows some parts from that car, so it has some amazing mechanical sort of updates at the back of the car, which we will talk about a little later on in the video. And it's up on the brake horsepower, so up from 510 brake horsepower in the AMG GTS. This car is putting out 549 brake horsepower, so an even more powerful version of what originally was a very powerful, very fast car anyway. As I say, the car is finished in brilliant blue metallic, which for me, on an AMG GT, is my favorite color. It's the color that I would order if I ordered this car myself. And unusually, this car, and I've mentioned it previously, unusually this car is not fitted with what most people fit, which is the night package, which is all of the black bits. So where you see chrome on this car, most people would have fitted a night pack, which is all the black mirrors, etc. I actually think, given this car is brilliant blue metallic, I think this car, which has a chrome package, which is the same money to option, still a cost option, I believe it looks beautiful, really stunning, and actually sets it apart from other AMG GTCs. So we'll start at the front end and we'll run you through this car. But the chrome package is down here. You can sort of get an idea of it. So you've got this lovely chrome lower splitter here. You've got this little split here in between where the radiator intakes are, and that's down on each side underneath the headlights. And then you've got all of the little chrome accents on the vertical strakes of the front grille. Now, talking about the front grille, this car is a 2018 model year, so it's a facelifted version of this car. So the original AMG GT had horizontal strakes across the grille and a very less defined sort of air intake radiator area here. So this is, I actually think it's a beautiful update, one that was needed at the time, and it makes the front end of this car a lot more aggressive. So you get what they call a Pan America grille, which are these vertical straight grills, and you get a much bigger sort of air intake area here for the radiator cooling, and they added this fin, this horizontal fin here as well. Again, just to give the car a bit more of a prominent face. I'm sure there are some aerodynamic benefits to it as well. So we'll walk around the car and we'll take in a bit more of it because it's a super special car, and I do apologize, this may be one of our longer videos because there's lots I want to talk about. So we'll start here as we're going around the car. We'll start on the wheels. This car is fitted with the AMG forged alloy wheels. So these are not the standard wheel that you get on an AMG GTC. However, someone has gone and paid for these wheels. So they're a split fitment. So the front wheel is 19 inch, the rear wheel is 20 inch, and being forged, that means that they're a lot lighter than the standard wheel. They're a lightweight wheel, so a very expensive cost option. And I actually think this high polished face with the metallic grey insert, I actually think looks stunning. It's beautiful on this car. And obviously you've got those massive red AMG calipers and the lovely detail here. This is not flush, it is all, you know, it's all machined out where the AMG logo is at the bottom of the wheel. So really nice thing, stands it apart. There's not many GTCs out there with these wheels. Again, against the brilliant blue with the chrome pack, everything goes just perfectly. Everything goes really nicely. Someone's put a lot of effort into ordering and speccing this car. So again, more of the chrome pack here. You've got these side vents on the flanks of the front wings, big side vents with your V8 bi-turbo there as well, and obviously huge chrome strakes across there, and your side sills do the same thing. They're really prominent. They actually, I don't know if the camera can pick this up, but they're really prominent. They stick out a long way, which is really nice. They give the car a really imposing sort of stance on the road. And then we'll come around the back of the car. And here, again, here is something really important. So This car is wider than the standard AMG GT and AMG GT Roadster. It gets that because it shares a huge amount of technology from the AMG GTR, and the majority of the work is done at the back of the car. So you get a wider rear arch, a wider rear bumper. You get these lovely sort of air intakes here, which I assume are just for moving wash air from the rear wheels out towards the back of the car and cleaning up airflow, which are lovely, but it's a really aggressive looking rear bumper. That again comes round to these big square chrome tailpipes. The chrome pack continues over the diffuser under here, and then you get these lovely slots here. Again, all for airflow, so I imagine all they're doing is diffusing air at the back, but that gives you the defined difference between a standard AMG GT Roadster and the AMG GTC Roadster. It is a completely different looking car at the back for me. And we'll show you inside the boot as well, if I can find the key, which is in my pocket. And again, I've said this before, you wouldn't believe how big the boots are on these cars, considering the nature of them. There's actually a huge amount of space in the boot of these cars. So I'll just take this out and you can have a look. I actually think it's quite surprising. Most people don't consider that there's gonna be boot space, but these cars have a much larger boot than you'd anticipate. And what I'm holding, which I'm about to put back in, this came with the car. It is its original AMG full car cover. I don't think it's been used often. The car has been garaged a lot, but as I say, lovely thing to have with the car. All your book packs and everything are there. Everything is as it should be for a one owner 8,000 mile car. The car is spot on. I'll just shut the boot and then we'll work our way around the driver's side. Same thing, again, I don't know if the camera can pick up on just how big these rear arches are. It's kind of a thing that you need to see it to understand the big differences. When you see this car in the flesh, it's a really prominent back end, and it makes a big difference if you've seen a standard one to come back and have a look at a GTC. It's a big difference in the car. And I'll just open the car. It's all keyless, as you can imagine. You've got illuminated door sills here, which I think look lovely. They look really nice at night as well, so they light up for you. And something we're going to show you in a second, which is really, really impressive. So part of this car being an AMG GTC, having some of the GTR technology, is that one of the major things it gets is rear axle steering. So this car is fitted with it. It's quite incredible, and you're probably sitting there going, what's rear axle steering? So what that is, and I'll explain it as best I can, is when I turn the wheel, the rear wheels will steer in the opposite direction in order to tighten up the car's turning circle. So the best thing to do visually is to show you. So I'm going to fire the car up and we're going to show it to you now, and hopefully the camera will pick this up, but it's really interesting. So if you can still hear me over the engine, which is very loud, I'm going to turn the wheel to the right now, and what you should be seeing is the rear wheel turning in the opposite direction. And then again, I'll turn the wheel back, I'll show it to you again, and that's quite incredible. And that is a big difference between this car and a standard AMG GT Roadster. So the car also benefits from an electronic rear differential, and that makes a massive difference to the way the car picks up traction. Very different to the standard car. The standard car has a regular mechanical limited slip differential. This one's electronic, again, out of the AMG GTR. So more horsepower, some really fancy trickery at the back to make it handle better, and a much, much more aggressive stance on the road, a really good looking car. So let's talk about some of the optional extras that this car's got inside. So we've got fully electric seats, massively adjustable. They're all down here. You've got memory functions, that's on the driver's side and the passenger side. So both the driver and the passenger can adjust their seats, set a memory, which is lovely. All, obviously, as you can imagine, electric windows, electric folding mirrors, and all the mirrors themselves obviously are adjustable electronically. And then if we move up to here, what we've got here is something called Burmester high-end performance stereo. So hopefully you can see that. Now, there are ways to tell that a car has this, and it is extremely rare. This is, I believe, in excess of a £5,000 cost option, this stereo. So it's not the standard stereo, it's not the standard upgraded stereo, it's above that. It's the highest grade stereo you can option in these cars. The telltale sign is the full aluminium, beautiful full speaker grille on the doors, where the tweeters are on the doors. And then if you can see past me, the tweeters on the dashboard above the top of the dashboard there, you can just see them just there. They are all aluminium as well. So if your car has that, like ours does, then you have the high-end stereo. It is a fabulous stereo, super adjustable. So for those who like high-fidelity music, it's amazing, really tunable. You can get the stereo doing live, audio changes. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant if you love your music. The car's fitted with the flat-bottom AMG steering wheel. This is the performance steering wheel. It's Alcantara, where the hand grips are, which is really nice, like a racing car steering wheel. You've got big metal shift paddles for the double clutch gearbox that this car has. And obviously everything is electronic, so I'll just fire the car up again. The steering column is electric, comes towards you, goes up and down, fore and aft, all electronically. You've got all your controls for the radio, the voice activation, the telephone, they're all on the right-hand side of the steering wheel. You've got all your controls for the multifunction display ahead of me. They're on the left-hand side of the steering wheel. You can adjust all of that as you wish. And then in the middle here, you'll see you've got your AMG Performance dashboard. So what you're looking at there is the temperatures of the oil and the temperatures of the gearbox oil. And at the minute they're in blue. It's a really clever system, so the car will stay in blue until it warms up. When they warm up, those blue figures on the right-hand side there, they turn to white, and that's when you know that the car is warm enough to drive it slightly more enthusiastically. So it's a really clever car in that way. AMGs have got this really, really nicely done. You won't damage the car, because if you follow that, you won't damage any of the engine parts. You'll look after it properly, you'll drive it properly. Everything else, as well, as you'd imagine, is very Mercedes. You've got air scarf, which is essentially, I don't know if you can see it behind me, you've got these vents here. They pile warm air out into the back of your neck in the winter and a cold summer evening. So when you're driving along on a colder day, you can have the roof off still, you can have warm air coming around your neck. And obviously you've got heated seats, both the front seats are heated as well. So actually a really nice place to be. Even on the slightly colder days, the slightly colder drives, you can still have the roof off and be very comfortable. The car has loads of driving modes. So you've got all of these modes. They're all adjustable on this little wheel here. So at the moment it's in comfort. You can flick it, it'll go to sport. And if I go to Sport Plus, you'll hear the exhaust get a lot louder. And that's lit up the switchable sports exhaust, which is this button here. That automatically comes on in the sport mode. And if I give it a little blip, you'll hear how loud this car is. And a few pops and bangs, really AMG, lots of character. You can't really replace an AMG V8, they're characterful engines. I'll just swap it back to comfort and you hear it get a bit quieter again. Obviously all adjustable dampers, everything that you would imagine on a car of this pedigree. And I'll just show you the reverse camera as well, because obviously the car has that as well. Again, some of them don't, so it's nice to know that it does. Really clear, really high definition. And obviously adjustable lines, so if I turn the steering wheel, you can see the guidelines move. And again, another benefit of having that rear axle steer is, yes, whilst it is amazing for on-road driving when you're moving forwards, for reversing, for maneuvering, having that extra maneuverability, that smaller turning circle that you get with the rear wheels turning as well, really valuable in a car like this, really valuable when you're down, hunkered down in a low sort of sports supercar like this. And I'll just switch it off now, put it back into park and switch it off. The car is also fitted with cruise control, automatic LED headlamps, all the major modern technology that you would imagine in a car of this type. But really, what we're really looking at is a one-owner, 8,000 mile AMG GTC, a very serious proposition, a very serious car in itself, because it is a big step forward from the basic AMG GT, but not quite as hardcore as the GTR. For me, and I believe I've said it before, this represents the sweet spot for me in the AMG GT range. Beautiful thing for the summer with the roof down. One owner, 8,000 miles, full Mercedes-Benz main dealer service history, and it's had the all-important spark plug service as well. That was done in 2020. So I hope this video has been really helpful. It's an amazing car, a car that I really like myself, and I hope we find a really good home for it. Thank you very much for watching.